Okay, moving on now to some other news. Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar is all set to hold crucial talks with China's top diplomat Yang Jiechi on Tuesday on a very important visit to Beijing amid the strained relations with China. In fact, on Wednesday, India and China will hold an upgraded strategic dialogue as Jaishankar is also meeting the Chinese Executive Vice Foreign Minister. Mr. Jaishankar is likely to raise India's entry into the nuclear surprise group and its ongoing efforts to sanction the Pakistani terrorist and leader of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, Masood Azhar, at the UN Security Council meeting, with both efforts running into a lot of resistance from China. Meanwhile, on the nuclear issue, after China blocked India's application last year, the United States just last month placed a fresh application, which was also placed on a 6-month technical hold by China. It will be revisited by the group when the hold expires. Let's go straight across now to India Today's Anand Krishnan for more on this. Anand, how important is this meeting coming at a time when China has emphatically stated that they would be requiring solid evidence to back India's efforts to ban Masood Azhar?
Well, Avantika, it's actually there's heavy snowfall here in Beijing today as the Foreign Secretary lands a few minutes from now, and whether or not he can end this diplomatic chill that grips relations with China still remains to be seen. As you very rightly said, the UN Security Council technical hold that China has repeatedly placed to prevent sanctioning the Pakistani terrorist Masood Azhar is something that the Foreign Secretary will most certainly raise today and tomorrow. And he's also going to be speaking about India's aspirations to join the nuclear suppliers group, where China again was among a few countries that pose very serious obstacles to India's bid. And it's very interesting that Jaishankar, besides the strategic dialogue tomorrow, has also been given a meeting with China's top diplomat Yang Jiechi. So it's very clear that China is also keen to at least show that even though there have been so many irritants of late, that at least both sides are talking.
Oh, yes. And that's important. Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant is also with us. That's important, isn't it, Gaurav? Can we expect a slight thaw in the existing diplomatic chill between India and China? I mean, other than discussing issues of global mutual interest, what else can we expect?
At this point of time, it is unlikely that there will be a thaw in the relations, given what China said even at the Munich Security Conference. So China and Pakistan made common cause, and that is not room for much maneuver as far as India is concerned. But India is telling China that China stands isolated in its support to global terror, and Masood Azhar is case in point. After India's failed bid to have Masood Azhar proscribed at the United Nations, the United States, France and the United Kingdom made an effort, and yet China blocked it. Now China is trying to give a spiel about non-discriminatory global effort, and that China is unable to explain. Even in this meeting with Yang Jiechi, which is extremely crucial, what is extremely significant at this point of time is China is unable to explain why it is blocking a terrorist like Masood Azhar's sanctions, even though Jaish-e-Mohammed is a banned terrorist organization and Jaish-e-Mohammed is a sectarian terrorist organization. And in case Anant is still with us, Anant, Jaish-e-Mohammed is involved in a series of sectarian crimes and terror attacks even in Pakistan, including the recent one that we've seen. Now, the Islamic State is responsible for the Sufi shrine attacks, but Anant, Jaish-e-Mohammed is also known for sectarian strife and Sunni Muslims in Pakistan targeting Shias, Ahmadiyas and Sufis, and yet China continues to support them.
Oh, well, that's right. And in fact, there's one question that we put to the Foreign Ministry just on Friday, given that there's a pretty glaring contradiction that the UN Security Council has proscribed the Jaish-e-Mohammed and deemed evidence was sufficient, but China is still saying that it wanted, in its words, solid evidence on Masood Azhar. I think that the Chinese are aware themselves that, quite frankly, it's an argument that few countries are buying.
All right.
And I think they are more than aware that it's something that they can very well be accused of double standards.
Right.
It's going to be something very difficult for them to explain.
Okay, Gaurav and Anand, thank you both for joining us.